Ça va. لاباس
صافا والله والله اخويا عاش من شافك صافي خويا صافا لاباس شادي صافا خويا الله يسلمك صافا لاباس مليح
الله يبارك
مبروك اخويا الله يبارك الله يبارك والله الحمد لله.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So Olympic gold medalist, boxing women's champion, Imane Khelif has made an announcement. Imane plans to go professional. And boxing promoters are already saying that they're going to support this person. They're going to support Khelif in the pursuit of professional boxing. So it looks like Khelif is going to be around in women's boxing for quite some time. Not sure how it's going to work when it comes to the World Championships, because as we know, Khelif, along with Lin Juting, failed the sex tests, the gender tests, which were basically to test their chromosomes. Even Khelif's coach admitted that there were some problems with the chromosomes. So it's believed that Khelif, as well as Lin Juting, have XY chromosomes. That's why they were banned from the World Championships. And the IOC, they don't really care. Let's face it. They know that these boxers have XY chromosomes, but they don't care. Even their policy says that a male athlete can compete in women's competitions if the sporting body, the national governing body, if they're okay with it, the IOC is okay with it. They even said that they make no presumption that a male athlete has an advantage over females because of transgender status or identity. Now, obviously, with Khelif's case, Khelif is believed to have DSD, differences in sexual development, similar to Caster Semenya and other male athletes who have competed in women's competitions. Chromosomal issues, born with abnormalities, but either way, one is either XX or XY. You can only be male or female, even with DSD. And when it comes to questioning if somebody has DSD, it usually involves males. Caster Semenya's condition is a condition that only affects males. It doesn't affect females. And I believe it's similar with Khelif.
Well, if they have the condition that Caster Semenya has, and we know about that because of Semenya taking it to the courts and everything was published, then they would be babies who were thought to be girls or who had ambiguous genitals when they were born, registered as girls, but would have gone through a full male puberty. And at that point, all would have become clear. And you're right, we don't know about these two. The reason we don't know is because they've insisted that no one's allowed to say. So when the International Boxing Association held a press conference to try and shed some light on this, they announced that they had been warned in writing by the National Olympic Committees of these boxers' countries not to reveal the test results that they had obtained. So I think we have to remember that this could be all cleared up. If this is a simple matter of confusion and these really are women, it would be very easy for them to resolve that.
Yeah, well, they're really easy tests. I mean, you don't even need a blood test or a major, science lab dedicated for months. You can just do a swab of the cheek, can't you?
Yeah, that's right. And there are people, particularly if they come from countries or rural areas in countries where they don't have good access to healthcare, there are babies who are erroneously registered as girls. And when they grow up, it all becomes clear. Yeah. And I think there's enough anecdotal evidence from other boxers, particularly women, having boxed with these two, and not just at the Olympics, but previously, to tell us that something is amiss.
Firstly, there's a lot of confusion in the reporting around this. Obviously, there have been some cases in the past where women born as women have naturally high testosterone levels, and sometimes there have been cases where it's transgender women. Do we know which it is in this case?
It's never about naturally high testosterone levels in women. When they talk about females with these high testosterone levels, they're really talking about males with disorders of sex development. And in some cases, rarely happens in developed countries, but in some cases, babies born with these disorders are wrongly labeled as female, and then they grow up and go through male puberty, and everyone then knows they're male. they have, I don't know these two individuals in particular, but this is well documented now, for example, with Caster Semenya, that they have internal testes, they produce testosterone, they go through puberty, they have all those advantages. And frankly, the prospect of these people boxing against women, if they are male, is terrifying.
And Khelif and Juting are yet to produce their own sex tests to show that ours are legit. The IBA, their one was wrong. This is the correct one. They're yet to do that. So let's get into it. The boxer Imane Khelif is set to turn professional after winning Olympic gold in Paris, a triumph that was surrounded by a gender row. So of course it's saying Khelif came under scrutiny after competing against the Italian boxer, the female boxer. She was very emotional in that match, and it only lasted 46 seconds. Now, some people are saying that she's always emotional in her matches. Okay, but that doesn't make Khelif XX, does it? However, the 25-year-old's success was overshadowed by a debate around gender, with the International Boxing Association having disqualified Khelif from the 2023 World Championship, allegedly because Khelif failed a gender eligibility test. The IBA said Khelif had also returned adverse test results at the 2022 World Championships. And remember, Khelif signed the results of the test, confirming that the test was in fact done. IBA provided proof of that. They didn't go into any more details because you can't divulge people's medical records, obviously. During that whole time, some people were confused. Some people were saying that Khelif is transgender, which is incorrect. Actually, it was certain publications that said that Khelif was transgender. That's what they reported. That's what they used in their headlines. They obviously have since changed that, but you can understand why people were confused. A lot of people are not aware of DSD and what that means. But this is not the first time we have had male athletes competing in women's competitions. A recent report by the UN said that sex tests must be mandatory at the Olympics, that the IOC need to bring back those tests. They got rid of them in the late 90s, and ever since then, we have had multiple male athletes, many of whom have DSD. There's been a couple of transgender athletes, but it's usually athletes with DSD who their legal documents say that they're female, but they actually have XY chromosomes. And we've had women miss out on medals due to having multiple male athletes in their races, multiple male athletes in their competitions. They've spoken out about it, and some of them have received backlash for speaking out about this. So Khelif won gold, saying, "I will soon enter the world of professional boxing. I have many offers. Currently, I have not made up my mind about where I will enter professional boxing, but very soon I will take this step. We, as Algerians, would like to see our level in the field of professionalism." This summer, British boxing promoter Eddie Hearn, who works with Anthony Joshua, among many other star boxers, said he would be open to signing Khelif for Matchroom. So Eddie Hearn, it sounds like he's trying to remain objective. He's trying to test the waters to see if this is feasible, because obviously when it comes to the World Championships, they've been banned, or Khelif has been banned for failing the sex test. So maybe it looks like he's doing a little dig in to see what's going on here, but he's open to signing Khelif. So he said, "What I'm going to say on this is, I think there's a lot that is unclear, so I'm going to give you my opinion now, based off really not knowing all the facts. So therefore, I shouldn't give you my opinion, but let's have a conversation about it. I look at it like this. If there is an unfair physical advantage that this individual has, that is something that has to be looked at correctly, not by a rival organization, not by someone that might have an agenda." I think he's just trying to remain neutral. Perhaps he needs to look into it more to make up his mind. Maybe he genuinely doesn't know much about DSD and why people say this person has an advantage, why people say this person is male. Because everywhere else is saying that this person was born a woman. People are saying this person is female and just has some issues that we should be compassionate about. So it's hard to know what to believe at times. But I think as a boxing promoter, you better make it your business to be clued up about this. So Hearn was referring to the fact that the IBA previously organised Olympic boxing, but ceased to do so before 2021 Games in Tokyo. The International Olympic Committee, which ultimately oversaw boxing in Tokyo and set up the Paris Boxing Unit this summer, parted ways with the IBA over concerns relating to the organisation's finances and links to Russia, and due to fears of corruption. The IBA, are considered shady now. So based on that, they're dismissing their gender test. They're saying, well, the IBA are corrupt. Let the IOC decide. And we know that if it's up to the IOC, they're all for it. So Hearn said, when I first heard this story, the perception of the public, and probably mine as well, was, this is a man who now lives as a woman, and this is not right. And I think if you're born a male, I don't think you should compete against women in boxing. But if you're a born female, and you've lived your whole life as a female, competed as a female, your whole career, I'm not going to say what's right or wrong. I'm just going to say that facts I know lean me towards the fact that you have a right to compete as a female. You are a female. Yeah. I think if the facts were laid out, and it was a position where there's no reason why this individual shouldn't compete as a female, I might sign her. 1, obviously, a talented fighter. 2, commercially, I think up to 2 million Instagram followers from 30,000 or something. The answer is yes, but there's probably a lot of facts we don't know around this situation. So, that all sounds very nice. But you know how we can settle this once and for all? Is to do the dang test. That's how we settle this. If you want to know if this person is female, do the test. Make that a requirement. Do your own test. It's very simple. Make that a condition upon which you sign this person. That's it. I don't want to hear back and forth all this nonsense. Born a female, birth certificates, grew up female. At most, it makes me have compassion for somebody born with abnormalities, and there's confusion growing up. But that doesn't make me believe that it's right for somebody who is male to be competing in women's boxing of all sports. And this can be settled. We don't need to go back and forth. We don't need to speculate. A gender test is very straightforward. A cheek swab that tells one if they have XX chromosomes or XY. And I'm sorry, but for women's boxing, XX chromosomes are a must. So, this boxing promoter is trying to be neutral, but based on what he's seen, the IOC are okay with it. So he's thinking, okay, if these sporting bodies are saying that this person has a right to fight, this could be quite lucrative. Has gained a lot of publicity, obviously. And Khelif, is capitalizing off of that, which I guess is a good business move. It's good for the country as well, of Algeria, who want more publicity, who want to have world-class athletes. So it's a win-win, I guess, for Khelif. Not so much for the female athletes who are going to be punched in the face by this person, but it's a fact that male boxers punch harder. So let me know what you think. Do you think this is going to work out for Khelif going professional in women's boxing? Do you think this boxing promoter is just going to cave and go along with what everyone else is saying, that this person was born a woman and this person should be competing in women's boxing? Is it going to be that lucrative? Are the boxing promoters just going to go for the money, just going to follow the money? Now, there's not much money in women's boxing, I don't imagine. But with the publicity of this case, that may change. Some people may even say it's great for women's boxing because of that, which obviously I do not agree with. So let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. Like, comment and subscribe. Take care of yourselves, and God willing, I will see you in the next video.